Hey there, I want to welcome you to the Rise of the 1% podcast. We're going to discover the strategies, the tools, and insights to dominate and get into the top 1% of your industry. I am Gerald Bass with the Rise of the 1%. Alongside me, JC Williams.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. How you feeling, G?
Man, I'm feeling great, feeling awesome. How about yourself?
Oh, man, definitely highly favored and blessed, man. I can just say that, we in an uncertain time right now.
Yeah.
And, it's some things that we want to talk about because today we want to talk about leadership.
Leadership, huge key component.
Huge key component. It don't matter if you, a business owner, CEO, some type of executive. It's important even for being parents.
Right.
Exactly. Being leaders of your family.
Right.
So we're going to talk about 13 ways on how you can become a better leader.
Better leader. Gotcha.
So we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. And the first thing I want to talk about on the first way to become a better leader is being transparent.
Transparent.
Being transparent is like big key is listening. Listening to me, listening to people's stories. As I know for me, like I deal with it a lot. You make new relationships when you're building your company. Not only that, just your network involved. And me, I don't want to feel in a way where people can feel like they can't talk to me.
Yeah.
And also too, it's a way that you got to be able to push people. So the best way that you can push people, you got to learn people.
Yeah.
And the best way to learn people, you got to know their story.
Right.
You got to learn their story. You got to understand where they come from, their upbringing, things that makes them tick. It's just, I ain't trying to be funny, but I get calls every day about certain situations, with the management part, but it's a difference between being a leader and managing.
Right.
And one thing about it is just that you just got to have a listening ear.
Right. Yeah, man, you got to learn how to be more interested than interesting in people when you're speaking to people. I do that even with Rise the 1% team to even many of our clients.
Right.
Like you say, really finding more about them, what they're going through at that particular time, about their story.
Right.
Different obstacles and challenges that they may have going on to what they're looking to overcome. And that's a great component of leadership.
Yeah, and when we go through different challenges and obstacles too, and the next way that I'm gonna bring up is you gotta understand the timing.
Right.
To actually address certain obstacles and challenges when you want to get things corrected.
Right.
People go through different things, right? Mm-hmm. And like you say, you gotta have that understanding. You gotta be interested in it.
Right.
And it's not. The timing is a big, huge factor. So, like, if I'm in an argument with someone, right, or really, I stay away from like arguments, but you get in disputes.
Me too these days.
Right.
I do my best to. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But any type of confrontation, any type of dispute that you may have, a lot of times it just take, it's timing. That's the first thing come up in my head is the timing, because I'll be like, okay, for example, I'll be honest, sometimes I get some of my employees or whatnot, they may be feeling some type of way, and they don't come at me a lot, but I have other people like in different positions that manage or whatever,
right.
And they'll complain, like management will come to me and be like, well, this employee said this to me, said that to me. Yeah, can you talk to them for them? Can you talk to them for me? They don't need to be talking to me like this. I can't take that, whatever, whatnot.
Right.
And just like when you having a company, and I just realized it's like, man, it's like you dealing with children sometimes, man. Like it's crazy. I'll be like, man.
I know you mentioned that to me at times.
Yeah.
With your business,
You're right. Unfortunately, but so I had to take timing into consideration when I want to talk to them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And just try to let things die down. Even if you're in some type of relationship, sometimes you gonna have a dispute, or you might be at odds with your significant other.
Right.
And it's just sometimes you may have to just take time out,
right,
and know when the timing to address certain situations.
Yeah, It might just be time just to separate for that particular moment. If you're doing a relationship, like separate for that particular moment, and when the timing is right, you all can really sit down and see how you can potentially mend things and potentially move forward.
Right, and another thing too, just people got to be willing to compromise too as well.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Just try to put yourself in other people's shoes. Yeah. A lot of times, that's one of the things that I look at too when it comes to being a leader. Right. It's like, all right,
treat people how you would want to be treated.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So that's just starting off, man. These are the first two critical things, I feel like that you got to understand, because it's like people understand. You got to understand people. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yep. Relate.
I agree.
Right. So that's two ways, and so number three, we got follow up on accountability. Mm-hmm. Now, this is what I mean by following up on accountability, right? Mm-hmm. So when you do set certain standards, or you set certain goals, or just say you no matter, like, I'm gonna talk from a business standpoint, because that's like majority of our life. I know it may sound, sometimes talking about business may sound mundane or boring or whatnot. But this is what we do. That's what we do. This is what we do on a daily basis. Yeah. So that's what we always talking about. Right. So you can relate to this in any area in your life.
Yeah, whatever you're doing.
Right, whatever you're doing. And a lot of things, like when you set certain standards for people, like, your company or whatever. Right. A lot of times you got to follow up on it.
Got to.
You know what I mean? Because you don't, they were not going to take you seriously.
Exactly.
So that's another thing. So of course you want to be, understanding. You want to be able to be transparent, right. Do things at the right timing. But also too, you got to be stern.
Yeah, I mean, like if you set deadlines for specific projects to be completed, or even if you're setting, certain goals for this day or this week or this month in terms of sales goals, etc. It might be for your sales team, what have you. Yeah, you have to track like the progress in terms of accomplishing the goals, in terms of completing those specific tasks, in terms of those projects, or like I say, even getting sales goals or what have you, whatever the goals are for the particular company, the organization. You set those benchmarks, and then you have to follow up to make sure that they're being accomplished and being hit.
Absolutely, man. I agree. Yeah. All right. So moving on, number 4 we have here, building character. Right. I'm gonna let you lead off with that. What you, how you feel about building character? Like, what's some of the things that you feel like that's critical for leadership about the character part?
So yeah, to me, in terms of building character, I would say from a leadership standpoint, people do as you do and not as you say. So at the end of the day, if you are looking for honesty amongst your organization, if you're looking for great work ethic, if you're looking for loyalty, etc., then you have to display that as a leader. Right. They're going to follow you.
Major. Yeah. Key. Right. Shout out DJ Kelly.
I got the keys. I got the keys. There you go.
Absolutely. I think, man, you just hit that right on the point, G. Right. When it comes to that, because it's all about what your character is. When you hiring and when you looking to put people in different positions, and you gonna look at their character, right? Right. And a lot of times you want to hire people that has a similar type of characteristics, character that you have.
Exactly.
So that's how you build that culture in your company. It resembles you. Right. So they follow what you do. Right. So that's big. So moving on to number 5, just knowing how to delegate too. Like I said, the company represents you. So you got to understand how to put people in different places.
Exactly.
Knowing people's strengths and weaknesses. Right. So that's big, on delegate.
Yeah, like even with the rise of the 1%, like with our particular business model, we bring people onto the team all the time. Like, to be real, like when they come onto the team, I look at, for one, what's a major need within our particular market. Our market, they need lead generation. They want customers. They want clients. So a lot of times when it comes to the basics, I will start a lot of our new team members off learning how to build out sales funnels, right? I will start them off with that. Now, some people become good. Some people become great. Some people become extraordinary with it. right? But by them learning how to build out sales funnels and learning more about advertisement campaigns, I get to identify what really major strengths do they have. Do they have great strengths in terms of design? Do they have great strengths in terms of coming up with offers or writing copy or the messaging or whatever the case may be for the particular client? Then that's how I'm able to place people in different positions just by that.
Right.
So yeah, you got to really be able to identify the strengths of your people and be able to delegate and put them where they need to be for the organization to prosper together.
Absolutely. All these is key.
Right.
To building a strong culture, strong business. All right. Because it's all about the long term, you know. Right. And you want to make things easier as you go along. So everybody has their different things that they great at. Right. And so I feel like it'll take some people catch on quick. Right. And then also too, you just go off what people desire to do when they in it. When you really see like the passion, just say they may not have the talent, right? Right. And they really passionate about it. Right. It may be something that you could like, I would say, what's the word that I'm trying to use? What you do when you kind of like gauging people along the way. What I'm thinking about.
That's coaching.
Yeah, that's coaching too. What I'm thinking about, I can't think of it. Well, anyway. But yeah, like I was saying, just even if you see someone that's like passionate about what they want to do, right. That's something that you keep that in mind and keep pushing them to it. You know what I mean? Right. So you make it put them in that type of position. And then if not, then you may just have to be truthful about it and just be like, nah, this not for you. You right. Gotta do something else. Gotta do something else. Right, exactly. So yeah. So number 6 we have is quit to initiate. Right. And, I'll lead off with that, like, initiating, execution. Being a leader, you gotta think quick. Right. You got to move quickly on your feet. I agree. Because obstacles in business, in life, comes every single day. Every day. Right. Every day. Exactly. And as entrepreneurs, what we always looking for? Solutions. Solutions to problems. Solutions to problems. Exactly. Solutions. So you got to be able to think quick, make decisions quick. Move quick. Yeah. And what they say, successful people, they make quick decisions. They're slow to turn around. Right. Successful people make slow decisions. When they finally think they made a decision, they keep switching their mind back and forth. Back and forth, so back and forth. Decide. Right. Be decisive. And stick with it. Right. You're gonna fail at times. It's not always gonna work out. Right. But that's the whole part of, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, risk. Right. Rich, you can't be afraid to initiate, can't be afraid to execute. Mm-hmm. So, big part of leadership. All right. Definitely. The next thing is creating a great aura and increasing your stamina. Mm-hmm. All right. Creating a great aura, just like, I don't know, just... I know you do a lot of paperwork, reporting, keeping track of things and stuff like that. That's critical in your business. But also, too, you want to have some type of looseness, laughter. What I mean? Right. You can't be all serious. You can't all be serious all the time. That's how that's another way of being relatable. And that's all about creating culture, too. Right. Exactly. At the same time, you don't want to be all serious all the time. You got to have a little fun every now and then. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. So exactly. And then also too, just what I have on here, increasing your stamina. Right. Just like even like some nights you may have to sacrifice some long nights and work. Right. All right. When you have certain elements in your business, certain things you got to get done. A lot of times you just got to sacrifice. You got to have that stamina to be able to long last. Exactly. So. Perseverance. But that perseverance. So that's very critical in just showing that in leadership too. Right. So, like we spoke on a lot of the previous podcasts about ways you could, probably increase on your stamina, which is health. Health is very, very important, critical, just to get your energy up.
Right.
You know, but then also too, like, you know, we always talk about, man, just reviewing your goals and understanding your purpose. You know, that's always gonna boost your stamina up.
That's gonna keep you inspired to keep pushing, no matter what.
Right.
Early mornings, late nights, keep going.
Right. Exactly. Right. So moving on. Man, we moving through this thing right here. You know. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, having maximum confidence in yourself and in your team.
Right.
You know, I know I get it sometimes. You know, people feel like I'm like not like arrogant or anything like that. I do have a lot of confidence. All right, when it comes down to me as a person and what I'm doing, I feel like I could accomplish anything.
I'm very confident.
Yeah.
In everything that I pursue. Anything that I decide to do, I'm like overly confident in it.
Right.
And that's been a key to my success over the years.
Exactly.
And then not only that, even as I may introduce other people to that particular project to bring them on, whether it's a team member, etc., I'm confident in them. If I bring them on a team, I'm confident in them that they can be a huge asset to us accomplishing our goals with this particular project. I may even be believing in them more than they believe in themselves. That's what leaders do. Right.
Exactly. Right. And see, people need to see that at times, you know.
Right.
Like, to see that you believe in them a little bit more.
Right.
And push them.
Exactly.
But, you know, not just, you know, you don't want to never be dragging anybody, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you definitely want to see what they can do.
Right.
But, you know when you may have to cut people off or leave them behind or whatever, whatnot,
right.
You know, because it's all about keep creating new relationships, keep building.
Right.
You know, not dragging. Everybody has to have that same momentum, that same confidence.
Right.
You know, so that's key to building and leadership.
Right.
You know what I mean? When they see you still bringing on new team members and you
bringing on new customers,
new clients, and all that
type of stuff.
Right.
They'll continue to do
it as well.
I agree.
Yep. So that goes to my next way that we have here for number 9 is working with an edge. Yeah, working with an edge. To me, what that is like understanding. It's so many ways. Like when you're working with an edge, first you may think about competition.
Yeah, how can I get this competitive edge over my competition?
Exactly.
Right.
So that's one of the ways, like knowing that, and then also too, like what I say is like a fear, because for me it's like I don't want to fall, I don't want to lose. So every day I know I got to put up my all into it,
right?
Because I feel like if I stop, then everything will fall. So that would give my edge. Right. A lot of times, man, when it comes down to business.
Yeah.
So is that? I guess I could call that like a fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Basically, a fear of loss or fear of failure. Pretty much. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
With me, the same thing. I would say that's part of my motivation and inspiration on a day-to-day basis is making sure that what we've built up to this point continues to grow and build and doesn't fall.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely
and that helps with giving the edge.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's what I would say.
And then also too, even the opposite of fear, possibility.
Right, possibility.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, being eager to see what the other side looks like to, you know, accomplishing your dreams.
Right.
That's giving me that inspiration, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, to keep going too as well.
Right.
Thinking about it. Yeah, you know, it's just sitting here, we talking about it, and you know, I know for me, and I think a lot of other people that's entrepreneurs and business owners out there, I think like us dreaming every day is something that, I think it's like a habit. It's like I wake up in the morning, or even it's just something that's always on my mind. Like I'm focusing on what's today, well, I'm always thinking about tomorrow. You know, it's like I'm always thinking about tomorrow, a week, a month, a year from now. You know, going back to the why, my purpose. You know, so it's these things, and then I look forward for. I don't know. To me, I like competition. Yeah, I do. Like I just because I wanna, like, I'm not focused on nobody else. Like, you know, you should stay focused on yourself and what you're doing.
Right. The biggest competition is between you and you on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But you know, I do want to be able to beat my competition. Like, it's just something about, like, I want to stand out. I want to be better. I want to be unique.
Wrong with that.
Yeah. So, you know, just being aware. That's why I feel like definitely be aware of who your competitors are.
Right. You gotta know who that is.
Yeah, you gotta know. Like, that's so key. You know, just with business. You know, it's just like
Right. Yeah, I mean, you definitely gotta know the competitors within your market. You just don't wanna just focus so much on that that it really distracts you. You know, from what the ultimate goal is.
Right, and you not building because you focus on what other people doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing with that. And another thing I will say in terms of, you know, sometimes us thinking about tomorrow, thinking months ahead or even a year ahead, etc. I like to compartmentalize. And what I mean by that is, like, for me personally, I don't like to think too much into the future or even about the past. I really like to focus on what I can do today. What's in front of me today?
Okay.
What can I do today to move the boat faster or move the boat ahead?
Yeah.
In terms of this journey that we're on. That's just me personally. That's something that
Yeah.
I learned. Don't get me wrong, at times, you know, you sit down, of course, I look at my goals every single morning in terms of, you know, things that I'm looking to accomplish in the future. And yes, at times you are thinking about those things that you're looking to accomplish in the future and set out for. But at the same time, the main focus, what I've discovered, is really focusing on what's in front of me right now. What can I do right now?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's critical, G. I feel like that's very important. I know, hey, that's something I have to work on for me, myself. Right. You know what I mean? Me just being honest and transparent about it. Because, you know, my mind is always moving. Always. Yeah. You know, I even was thinking about it this morning. Well, no, was it this morning or last night? No, it was this morning. Because I do take time to myself every morning, man. I meditate. But meditation is so critical, man. Yeah. Because it's like you got stillness because you got so much going on around you. Right. And your mind is always somewhere. Yep. Always. So it's just like, all right, let me just take out some time and just be still and meditate and don't try to think about nothing else. Exactly. You know?
I agree.
So I think, and then with that, I feel like that would help you focus on which is the task in front of you
clear your
now.
Mind, clear your thoughts. Yeah, not really thinking about anything, cutting the phone off, being basically, you know, detach yourself from technology and all this type of stuff, and just sit down and just be still. Yes. Basically, just let your mind just rest and just remove all the different thoughts that's going on at that time, the clutter, and just sit down and just basically be still.
Yeah, definitely important. Huge. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so moving on to what we at. What is this? Number 11, right? Yeah. No, this number 10. 10. Yeah, no, this number 10.
Take criticism.
Yeah, being able to take criticism. When it comes down to leadership, I want people to understand. You know, do you understand what comes with leadership?
Right. I mean, being able to take constructive criticism. And see, with me, one thing with me, I mean, it's certain mentors that I've had, and certain coaches that I've had. They're real aggressive in their approach to coaching and mentorship, or even some people's content that I've consumed online. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Eric Thomas, right? Eric Thomas is a person that some people might be like, man, this guy be yelling and he's very aggressive in his messaging and stuff like that. And to them, they might be like, I'm good on listening to Eric Thomas. But then there's me and there's other individuals out there. We really want to hear Aaron Thomas call us out on where we might be lacking right now, where we may not be tapping into our most potential at this time. And we receiving that message, and we excited that Aaron Thomas speaking the way he's speaking and not really taking it in offense that he has an aggressive tone. I wouldn't mind getting coached by Aaron Thomas, right? So I think with that being said, like you just said, those are the type of things that come with leadership. I have many coaches and mentors over time. They give me positive feedback. And then some of them say, hey, Jerry, you need to straighten up this. You need to straighten up that. You need to get better at this, get better at that. And some of them may come out kind of easy going. Some of them might be a little aggressive. Hey, Chief, man, come on, man, tighten up. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect me. Like, I'm cool. I want you to give me that feedback. I want you to tell me how I can get better, how I can get greater, how I can go out here and really accomplish my goals and get to where you are even bigger. You see what I'm saying? So I think with that being said, like you said, leadership, that's a huge key. Can you take constructive criticism without being offended and go on and do what you need to do?
Right. And I feel like that's understanding how to control your emotions, man, when people talking to you. I know a lot of times I think emotions get in the way. When people are so cutthroat or they saying something directly to them, they let their emotions get involved, you know.
Because, I mean, even me, with coaching and mentoring, I'm a straight to the point type of guy. Some people like my coaching style. Some people say, oh, Gerald might be too aggressive, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, that's just how I come out, because I want to see my people win.
Exactly.
That makes sense. If you can take the constructive criticism, and whether it's aggressive sometimes or not aggressive sometimes, as long as you can take the information and go out and course correct and get better results, at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me.
And just to hit on that, I just want to let everyone know, if you're a real leader, everyone ain't gonna like you.
Right. That's another thing.
That's just what it is.
I had to learn that over the years.
Right.
I had to learn that over the years. Yeah. Myself.
People gonna talk about you. They gonna talk about your back. They go, you know what I mean? Everyone's not gonna like you. Everyone's not gonna like your style.
Exactly.
You know, so that's what comes with being a leader.
That's what comes with being one.
Yep. So, yeah, man, this is a powerful key.
Yep.
All right, so the next thing is this number 11, always being on the front line.
Right.
All right, so what I mean by always being on the front line is when things going bad, you take the blame, you take the fault. Even if it's like, I'm gonna give you an example, because I face a lot of this in my business, where it may be something that an employee did or someone that's part of my company that has done it, right?
Right.
Now, I have my ways on how I handled it with them, but just say if it's with something with a customer, I take the initiative, you know what I mean, and put the blame on me as a company, as a representative of my company. I will go out there on the front line, you know what I mean, for anyone. Like, you know, and that's why when anyone I love, you know what I mean, with my company, anyone I love, my friends, all that, you know what I mean, it's like you got to be the one to stand out and be on the ones on the front line. So, yeah, so, you know, it's just that you got to be able to take the fall sometimes, you know, for other people, you know. Yeah, well, I mean, what's your take on it?
I mean, I felt that way many times, even with my own business. Like, you know, things may not necessarily be going all the way well with the company at that particular time. And I look at myself in the mirror like, Gerald, what can you do better as a leader to be able to fix this particular situation? Not necessarily going and blaming everybody else. Now, at the end of the day, yes, we do have accountability, going back to one of our other points that we talked about in terms of, you know, certain people within the team being able to take on certain responsibility, but at the same time, still as a leader, it still falls back on me. So what can I do better to be able to bring us up out of this particular situation we may be in at this time?
Right. That, I mean,
another thing too with being on the front line to me as well is I never asked my team to do something that I wouldn't do. So that's another thing.
That's another thing.
It's leading by example.
Right.
That's what leaders also do.
Right. Yeah, I think that sums it up on that. Yeah, definitely. So moving on to the next point, number 12 is thinking big and having a long-term vision.
Right.
You know, for people to even be with you, they gotta understand your vision.
Right.
And you hit on this earlier about, just be able to thinking big, like always, like that's like, for me, that helps me with my solutions. You know what I'm saying? The way I'm thinking, because I'm thinking big, because you got that long-term vision. You understand what your goals are, or whatever, whatnot.
Right.
So, to also just, I don't care if you actually had to put a lot of these, you have your core values that people put up on poster boards and whatever, whatnot, when they walk in to the office or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those things are very critical.
Yeah, having a vision statement, mission statement, and like you said, the core values.
Right.
Definitely key.
Right. So that's something, when it comes, which we'll hit on the structure on businesses, and I feel like that's something that you need to put in your structure on business. You got to have that mission statement, the vision. What's the long-term vision?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's definitely, so we'll definitely hit on that a little bit more. So that's number 12, thinking big and having a long-term vision.
Right.
Number 13, and this is where, I wanted to end it off with this, is that you always got to be increasing your knowledge.
Always got to be growing, man.
Always.
If you're not growing, you're done. Right.
And it's all about, man, you doing the research. When like, even right now, like, just to hit on this, right? And we were having this conversation before the podcast, that we was talking about the virus that's in and all over the world right now, with the coronavirus.
Right.
You got to be the leader to go out there to go get the information and the facts.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The true data, things that are proven.
Right. Exactly. And share that with your family.
Exactly.
So, always increase your knowledge, always seeking, information.
Right. Yeah, man. I tell a lot of my coaching students this all the time. I be like, look, man, like, people that are very successful, man, they're always curious. They always want to know.
Curious.
They always want to know. That's just like, JC, you came over here today. I'm showing you books that I just bought. I'm always showing you books that I just bought. You do the same to me.
Right.
Or you are getting books. It's like, because we're always seeking for new knowledge.
Exactly.
Always wanting to learn. Or even if I'm around other people that's a little bit more successful than me in certain areas of life at that time, I'm asking them questions. I'm paying attention to what they're doing and all that type of stuff, because I'm curious.
Exactly.
That's what successful people do. They live in a state of curiosity.
Right. You're right.
They want to know.
Yeah, because increasing your knowledge builds on all these examples, your confidence, your vision.
Right.
You know what I mean? All that, just like you said, just learning from people that's in a higher class than you, being in their environment. Right. All these things build on these things that make you become a better leader.
Exactly.
So it's all about increasing and becoming better every single day.
Better at your craft.
Better at your craft. As you guys will see, we're going to keep hitting you with content that's going to continue to get better every single episode.
There it is.
Because we always learning.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There it is.
Right. Like, we're rookies. I know I am.
Yeah. Definitely,
right.
man. Definitely.
Yeah. So
we're always in progress.
Right. Exactly.
In terms of growing.
And growing. So, So that's the 13 ways that we have on how you can become a better leader. Right now, this next session that we're gonna talk about is 1%er
of the week.
Right. So G, I'm gonna let you just lead in who our 1%er of the week is.
So y'all 1%er of the week. This guy here is outstanding when it comes to this topic that we talked about tonight in terms of leadership. He actually has many books on leadership. One of the books that I read recently and listened to the audio recently as well many times was the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Today, in this week, our 1% of the week is none other than John Maxwell.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna play quick segment, of John C. Maxwell.
Absolutely.
See, what people think is they've got to have some kind of a title or position to be a leader. And so they say, well, I don't have a leadership position, so I'm not a leader. Well, you and I both know the position doesn't make you a leader anyway. It gives you a chance to practice leadership, but it doesn't make you a leader. So what I tell people is this: leadership is influence. So how do I increase my influence?
Correct.
Because if I influence 10 and next month I influence 20, wow, I've doubled my leadership influence. And so how do I do that? And it's a very simple answer. To increase your influence, you have to intentionally add value to people. Good leaders have the ability to make things happen. And so when people look at me and they say, okay, John, I'm looking for maybe a potential leader, what's the first thing I look for? The first thing I say for them to look for is look for somebody that makes things happen.
Yes.
Because but there's a whole bunch of people, they're wondering what happened. You know what I'm saying? And they're not the one you want to recruit.
Right.
So I say, go find, because here's what I discovered. If you can make things happen for yourself, you now have the credibility to make things happen for other people. If I'm not successful, there is no appeal for you to follow me. I tell people all the time, success is the credibility of a leader to lead. Being a person of faith, the first thing I would share with you is a relationship with God, okay? And if you don't have a relationship with God, you're my friend, love you as much as someone that does, so please understand that. I'm not trying to convert you, it's just that when you find something that really is beautiful, you want to share it with everybody. And I remember when I became a person of faith, the verse that grabbed me the most is the verse that says, if a person is in Christ, he becomes a new creation. And I did. I became a new person, again, because of him. Now, let's skip that, okay? If you're not a person of faith, just act like you never heard it, okay? Let's go to the real thing. I would sit down at the table with you and I'd say, if you really want to be transformed, you have to live an intentional life. This is so simple, I don't want you to miss it. Most people don't lead their life, they accept their life. And when you accept your life, you are living on things that are not worthy of your time and effort and energy. And you heard me say in a moment, everything worthwhile is uphill. The reason I want you to understand that is to go uphill, you have to be intentional. Nobody ever went uphill by accident. You've never read a book on accidental achievements. You have to be intentional with what you do and who you are. The problems will never, ever leave you. Issues, obstacles, difficulties, they're always going to surround you. So you never get to that place where you've got it made. You're not supposed to got it made. You're supposed to add value to people, and it's all uphill.
Oh my gosh.
So the moment I understand that, then what happens is I commit myself to it, and then it becomes a beautiful uphill climbing life. Because one thing that's beautiful about going uphill is the scenery is really good. So you got to be intentional with it. So that's what I would say to them. Be intentional. Start today. And here's the difference. Good intentions are overrated. Gosh. I know so many people, well, I'm going to do that. Yes, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. Good intentions are the most overrated phrase in the world. You've got to go from good intentions to good actions. Nothing happens until you've got good actions, and you won't have good actions until you're intentional with your life. My name's John, and I'm your friend.
All right, so hope you guys got a lot of value from that. Like I said, if you want to study a lot more about leadership, I definitely recommend that you listen to the audio or pick up the book of that from John Maxwell.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yep. And, we're going to go ahead and end it off. Like I said, this is something that, this is just the first thing that leadership is something that you got to keep hitting on a lot.
Right.
It's a topic that really, I know for me and you, we can probably talk about this for hours.
Yeah, we can. One of my favorite topics.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, any of you guys out there, you have some other things you feel like, that's with leadership. Definitely leave it, send us a message or a comment.
Send us a message or drop a comment below this podcast, right?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, G, you got anything else you want to share?
Yeah, all I would say at this time is definitely, if you got value out of this podcast episode, drop us a 5-star rating on the podcast. Yes, 5 stars. And definitely, as well, you're looking for more training in terms of getting to the top 1% and dominating your industry. Check us out, www.therise1%.com. Check us out over there. More information on Rise 1% Academy as well. That's for those that looking to get into entrepreneurship, grow businesses. In this time right now, online is definitely huge in terms of growing businesses. There's a lot of businesses laying people off right now, but you have Amazon, who just hired 100,000 people over this last week to help them with fulfillment because online orders are up. In terms of online traffic, it's 30% up as I got today. Okay, online right now, in terms of the online traffic to different websites online, in terms of people running ad campaigns. And so with that being said, if you're looking to dominate or you're looking to start an online business or even take your business to the next level online this time, make sure you visit www.therise1%.com. Find out more information on our academy. Drop any comments below this podcast on your biggest takeaways, any questions that you may have, or any things you want us to cover in the future. And make sure you bang out that like button. Bang out that like button. Show us some love. You got some value from this. And share it around with anyone else you feel can benefit. You have anything else, Jay?
Well, I would just tell everyone, same thing, follow, everything that my boy G just gave you guys. And also too, just, I would say to everyone, stay prayed up. I know that we in a time of uncertainty right now.
Right.
All right. And I don't want, to me, I think this is a time that if you believe, if you have faith, and in a higher power, in the Almighty, this is the time that you should always do this, but this is especially a time that you should lean on Him. All right. So I really want to just put that out there.
No, I definitely agree on that.
Right.
Man. This is the time to have more faith over fear. And yeah, definitely, whoever your higher power is, definitely lean on that during these times. Stay safe.
Right.
Follow the different guidelines they're putting out there for you at this time. Keep you and your family safe during these times. And this year to pass. Right.
And just to even give you guys, I know a lot of churches maybe, or, people are favored with the Bible has mentioned this verse, but this is something that has put me at ease a lot during uncertain times. And I'm going to just recommend that you read Psalms 91, okay? And the first verse is, those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. And then you can continue that from there. But I'm going to start y'all off from there. And like I say, stay prayed up.
Absolutely. Do that.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's it, man.
Well, that's it for this episode. You received another episode from myself, Gerald Bass, and JC Williams with the Rise of the 1%. We definitely look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a great day on purpose.